Hello, and welcome to Grug Gaming, and welcome back to our learning Let's Play of Stellaris. In the last episode, we created our empire, and does this tell us? Nope. We created our empire of space slaving bug people who come from Ixathrak subterranean parts. And now it's time to begin going through the tutorial. There's a lot of things on screen with a lot of little text sections. I'm going to read most of those sections to you as we start. When we get later on in the game, I will stop reading a lot of those because it'll be the same thing we've already heard. But to begin, I think it's best for all of us if we go ahead and read them, learn everything we need to just get playing this game. So, let's go ahead and start a full tutorial, the Ixadar Star Collective, tutorial missions and descriptions of the interface as you explore the game's mechanics, recommended if this is the first time you are playing the game. Now, one thing I do already know, like Crusader Kings 2, this is not a turn-based game, but is a real-time pausable game. So in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see here we have the year 2200. It is month 1, day 1. And it is currently paused, so the action stops. We can give orders. We can make changes to our planets or whatever we need to do throughout space. So we'll be pausing a lot, just to give you a heads up. All right, let's go ahead and see the full tutorial.
An excellent decision. You will have my full support.
Good to know, Veer.
Building a star empire can be a daunting task. To help get things started, I will be providing instructional missions that cover the basic steps necessary to establish ourselves as a successful interstellar power.
Alright, so the first mission is to fully survey our home system. I have added it as an entry in the situation log. To access it, click on the situation log button in the left section of the top bar or use F5 as a hotkey. So let's find the situation log on the top bar. Situation log, F5, opens a log of all ongoing events and special projects.
The situation log displays a list of all currently available special projects and various other points of interest. New items will likely appear as we begin exploring the galaxy.
Alright, Veer. Veer, you actually sound very quiet. Where's the menu button? Yep, it keeps resetting Veer's volume every time we start. This should hopefully make him a little louder for you. Alright, let's try this again. Alright. So, tutorial, survey the home system. We need to fully explore our home system before venturing out into the galaxy. To do this, select our science ship, either by clicking on the ship itself or by selecting the vessel in the outliner. Then click on the survey button in the fleet interface and select a non-surveyed planet near your homeworld. Your science ship will now plot a course to survey all planetary bodies in the system. Alright, so
the victory screen lists certain conditions that we can strive to fulfill to ensure that the legacy of our star nation will endure for as long as there is intelligent life in the galaxy.
Alright, so to win, we have to own 40% of all planets. So there's 600 planets. That's a lot of planets. A little progress bar. Or conquest, win the game by conquering or subjugating all other empires. There are still 17 other independent empires left to get 17. Oh, that's a lot of players in this world. Alright, so what is the outliner? Can I click this? Nope, that's not clickable. Okay, so alright. This is the outliner. So in our fleets, here we have civilian ships too. There's our science ship.
This is our science ship, which is used to survey astronomical objects such as planets in a star system. A planet needs to be surveyed in order to make its resources visible.
Oh, he's still not loud enough. Come on. Be louder, brah. Alright, so To put it to work, simply right-click on a not yet surveyed planetary body and select Survey System. The ship will then travel between all objects in the system and survey them each in turn. Surveying other planets may also uncover ones that are habitable and ripe for future colonization. Okay, so in our science ship, it looks like it's an Ixodar Star Collector ship, a Nahala-class ship. It has a military power of 0.25, 300 hull points, an armor of 7, 10%. No idea what that means yet. It cost us 70.75 energy credits to maintain. Is that per month? I wonder if that's probably per month or maybe per day. I'm not sure. Well, get that back in there. It has warp drive capability. And this ship means that when we're dealing with anomalies, we have a minus 10% fail risk. And if we're docked, minus 25% fleet cost. No idea what any of that means yet. So down here we have a panel. What do we have? Merge, so we can make a fleet. And they have to have the same FTL type. So merge selected fleets and do as few fleets as possible. Fleet selected last. Lower on the list selections will merge into fleets. Okay, cool. Stop moving. Return to a nearest allied spaceport, probably for repaired. Okay. And move to an area. It looks like we have a captain here. The Captain Forthlin, a 1-star skill. He's an Ixodar, of course. He's 32 years old. He's got his career going, you know. Click to assign leader.
The Leaders tab lets us hire, dismiss, and assign idle governors, scientists, admirals, and generals.
Okay. So, we have some scientists. We have no governors, admirals, or generals. Looks like we can have up to 10 leaders. And we could change somebody to the ICS Nimhiva. That's this ship. Don't show again. The Nimhiva, that's this ship, so Forthin's in charge right now. He's careful, which is what's reducing our fail risk, or we could put in one of these other people. So we have this scientist who research speed plus 10%. An expertise in voidcraft. This leader is following years of study, considered an expert within the field of voidcraft. This guy, research speed plus 10, so he's a researcher. And research speed, particles, plus 10%. So these are all research guys, so we definitely want him to be in charge of this ship. This ship can survey. Order the science ship to survey stars, planets, and asteroids. Surveying will reveal detailed information. It might even unveil an anomaly. Researched an anomaly that we found. Okay, that would make sense. Fleet stance. Current stance is evasive. The fleet will attempt to return to the nearest friendly spaceport if somebody attacks us. If we change it to passive, it will not move towards hostile targets, but will enter combat if attacked. Okay, so this can go passive or evasive. Assist research. Order the science ship to aid the scientific effort of a planet, increasing research output. So we have to have data bank uplinks. I'm assuming that's some kind of research we'll need to do. So it looks like that is something we can use to kind of upgrade our planets if we have maybe a junk research planet that we need to make better by putting our ships there. I like this little health bar. It's kind of cool. All right. What else do we have here? Repair to the fleet, upgrade fleet. So health, hull points, 100%. Where it's in orbit around, and then it's class and information, and then ship details. Well, let's click on this. While we're looking at ships, let's take a look. So ship details, hull points, shields, armor, speed, evasion rate, damage, and then, okay. The warp drive level 1. Warp drive allow FTL travel to and from the edges of star systems with limited range. A science lab. Shipboard science labs allow for basic research, so it's a science ship, of course. Chemical thrusters. Simple yet moderately effective chemical thrusters that rely on combustible propellant to generate thrust. That lets us dodge, it looks. And a radar system, planet-bound technology adopted for use in deep space. The radar system provides basic detection and tracking capability for interstellar vessels. So we have some upgradable components in the ship. And this guy is a power generator, which makes power. Okay. We'll probably get into that more. So let's do our surveying. There's Ixathrak. Well, let's survey the... Well, this is just the closest planet. So right-click, survey system. And, okay, so it's going to boop, 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 all around our system and survey all the planets. Okay, cool. So that's done. So we're going to go to normal speed and see how fast this little ship moves. There he goes.
To overcome the vast distances that separate star systems,
pause it.
our scientists have developed the warp drive. Ships equipped with this device can travel between systems at velocities exceeding that of light speed.
Although ships can warp to any system within range, warp drives can only be activated outside the galaxy well of a star. Ships coming out of warp also require time to power up their systems again. The length of this process depends on how far the ship has traveled. Okay, so we leave a star system, we go somewhere at warp speed, and we get there, we slow down. That's fine. So let's continue our survey here. There we go. We're doing science. Little bar going by.
Researching new technologies will be critical to our success. I tell you this not merely as a product of unfettered technological progress, but as your trusted advisor and, I suspect, your only true friend.
Alright, so we have to do research in the game, of course. So one important technology that we should research as soon as possible is New Worlds Protocol. It will give us access to colony ships, which will allow us to establish footholds on other planets. The situation log has been updated. I'll have to check all these here in a minute. So we're doing our surveying the home system. Technology research. We need to research new technologies. New Worlds Protocol. Okay. Access the technology screen by clicking its button in the left section of the upper bar by pressing F6. Then click on Select Research and pick a technology to pursue from the options available. So, find our research. I'm imagining that's, yep, technology.
The technology screen is where we will be directing our research efforts. Technologies are categorized into 3 different fields, with each field typically having 3 available research options.
Okay, we can research technologies without assigning a scientist to the relevant field, but it will take significantly longer and is generally not recommended. So make sure we got a scientist there. And so we have a physics scientist, we have a society scientist, and this guy is an engineering dude. So I think I already have an idea. We need to go to our leaders tab. Where's our leaders tab? Contacts, ship designer, situation, government.
The government screen presents us with information regarding our empire and its government. Here we can see our ruler and any related effects.
Emperor Slurfuge. Nice. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. How do we hire somebody? Maybe we click on the person, and that takes us, so we click on a person's portrait, and it takes us over here. So let's recruit a new scientist. So that takes influence points. And we have 100. Okay. Seeing how this works. And this guy, particle science, good at searching, research speed plus 10. What's that other guy have? Let's recruit this guy with this other research speed plus 10. So we'll, scientist Gob, his brother Gob up here we don't want. So let's recruit him. Could be a mistake. Let's put him... Where'd you go, Gob? There you go. He's available. Oh, no. So here, we want... Void Ship Man, I guess? Yes, reassign the researcher. And then here, who's available should be him. So plus 12% from Gob. Plus 12, and he only gives plus 2. So I wish we had another researcher, but let's not spend everything. We can research technologies without assigning scientists. We already read that. All right, so we click on a research. All right, so we can research administrative AI, makes our research speed go faster. Organizational circuitry, routing academic fervor. Physics Lab 1 probably lets us build physics labs, which I would imagine allows us to increase our research on a planet. Solar panel network is industry. Access to solar panel technology can potentially reduce the operating costs of our spaceports. The panels will require an entire spaceport module to generate enough power, however. Well, we're beginning the game. Let's get our research speed up. Alright. And we need a society research. So, space combat, naval capacity 10%. Gradual adaptation to the realities of deep space combat allows us to effectively coordinate larger maneuvers. So we have bigger fleets. Monthly influence +1 unlocks Edict propaganda broadcasts for planetary unification. Ancient warring tribes, historical nations conflict, new unified an empire. We will not crumble. So we can increase our statecraft or the colony ship. So New World's protocol. We'll research this. Calculating required resources and gear required to establish a planetary colony allows us to herd brave pioneers into grand arc ships, confident that they will survive the long voyage across the stars to a new home. Boom. Get that going. So 24 months for this. 34 months. Oh, this game takes the long. No wonder that already went by 26 days. No wonder it goes so fast. I mean, think about that. We're talking months of research from Fern Fuge. And Gob. All right. Nanomechanics gives us an engineering facility. Advanced instrumentation allows for the study and practical application of physical systems and scales. Increase our mineral storage capacity with mining networks 2. Let's see here. And it produces 3 minerals a turn. Right now we're getting 8 a turn. I'm going to keep saying turn. Or hull plating for extra armor. Combat. Well, we're not really fighting anybody yet. Let's kind of go for this thing that's going to let us get more resources. Kind of like that. Alright, 23 months. That looks good. We can change research if we need. Alright, so we learned how to research. Not bad. Let's go ahead and advance time a bit here. See what happens. We finished surveying this planet. So what happens if I click on the planet now? It's a barren world. It is, for us, 0% habitability. List shows habitability of Naf Evamul for each species in our empire. Oh, so we get a multiple species in the empire. Okay, no resources. Barren and rocky world with a thin or non-existent atmosphere. The surface is covered in meteor impact craters and completely devoid of life. That's not very nice. Alright. Should our construction ship be doing something? Back to our situation log. Survey the home system. Study this technology. Let's just see what happens. Let's keep going. I feel like we're wasting time by not having our ships do things, but we're still learning. Another barren world? Yes. Okay. Well, let's click on some of our other ships and see if our buddy here has anything to say. So let's take a look at these ships.
Military fleets are used to protect our emerging empire from threats, or to expand our glorious rule through force of arms, if we so wish.
Our navy size is limited by technology and the skill of its commanding admiral. No admiral has been assigned to our starting fleet, so if we have the influence points, we may wish to recruit one. Well, good thing we spent those influence points. Whoops! Alright, so we don't have an admiral. This fleet has 3 Nawal class ships that are some kind of fighter with 23 damage, same amount of hull points as our other ship. Let's zoom in on these guys here. Take a look. Oh, there's our fighters, or our corvettes, I guess. So 70. The estimate of the combined offensive and defensive capability of the fleet. Cool. So just kind of this is a 70 power fleet. Let's hire an admiral, shall we? Ooh. I'm getting all kinds of zooming in and out. So let's assign a leader. We need to recruit an admiral. So, man, seeing a lot of repeated names, I'm kind of getting worried. This guy, good evasion, and can... this leader fights deviously, relying on misdirection and surprise to get the better of the enemy. So minus 25% FTL damage. He has the same thing. This guy, Dove Ace, plus 20% to our ship's hull points, but we can't use an emergency fast and light travel. This leader refuses to even consider the possibility of retreat when battle has been joined, preferring instead to fight to the death if necessary. Well, you know what? If we're going to send our fleets into battle, I want Admiral Devase to not come back if he's defeated. So we have an admiral with these ships. I'm sure he's costing us some amount a turn, but they look okay. So there's our research points. Okay, that makes sense. And last, we have one more ship, this guy here.
This is our construction ship, which is used to construct space stations. When an astronomical object, such as a planet, has been surveyed, we can order this ship to build a research station or a mining station to exploit any resources it may have.
Okay. Different types of stations, such as military stations, that can be built anywhere inside a system will become available as our technology capability increases. Alright, so he, right now, can build a frontier outpost. Is a space station used to claim uninhabited star systems and expand your borders. Can only be built in orbit around a star. Has cost to build and a monthly maintenance cost. Whoa, it costs 200 influence to build that. Mine station used to collect minerals, energy credits, and strategic resources from uninhabited planets and asteroids. That cost us 90 credits, gives us and 1 energy credit maintenance. Research stations are used to collect physics and society and engineering research data, so increase our research. Observation posts can be built in orbit around planets inhabited by primitive civilization to study their society. Okay. That's his fleet stance. Okay, so we can build these. Then we have a terraforming station. We can change the class of a planet, but we need a technology for that. Build a ruler military station. Under our system of government, we can build a single, more powerful military station once in a ruler's lifetime. We have no available military station designs. Oh, that sounds like a cool part of our government. We'll need to look that up here. And a military station, a regular one, so that's the ruler one. A military station can be built anywhere in a star system to defend the area within its effective radius. Okay, so we can build something. So we have this uninhabited planet and this moon. There's no resources here for us to gather. And no resources here for us to gather. And we haven't surveyed these yet, so we can't do anything with them. Okay. Makes sense. Let's see, we're 25 minutes into this video. Let's go through the rest of our interface options up here. And then we can start in the next episode making some grand empire decisions, I think. So, this is our government. The government screen represents us with information regarding our empire and its government. Here we can see our ruler and any related effects. Separate tabs give a detailed overview of our budget, policies that can be enacted, and information on the demographics of our nation. So we've got our ruler traits. Our ruler, he gets to live longer. He's resilient and excellent physical condition. Good for you, Slurfuge. And he has deep connections, so he's increasing our influence we get every month. We don't have an heir. Your ruler has no current heir. There's a 5% chance each day that a new heir will be nominated. If your ruler dies heirless, it may provoke a succession war. Holy moly, that's cool. All right. 12 naval capacity. We don't have any edicts in effect, so we're not spending money for that. And we don't have any edicts that have a duration. All right, so we can make edicts go longer or shorter. Budget.
The Budget tab tallies our Empire's monthly income and expenses in energy credits. Here we can also track a variety of effects that influence our economy.
All right, so we are getting $10, 10 space bucks a month. Yep, every month, 10 space bucks. And we are spending 7.57 space bucks. And this is all done in percentages. Okay. So ship upkeep, what is all this? Okay, so we could increase or decrease. Oh, these are based on modifiers. So our building costs, because of our empire, is minus 15%. We may get technologies that change these other things. Okay, policies.
The Policies tab covers government policies, as well as empire-wide edicts, practices that can be enforced by spending some of our influence.
All right, so there are often a few possible stances to take for any given policy that we may be limited by technology as well as our ethos. So, war economy. So the war economy. We can gear our industry and economy to seize assets from the civilian sector in times of desperate defensive wars. The downside of these policies is that we will suffer corresponding penalties while we are winning offensive wars. Okay. Static, semi-static. Semi-static war economy allows the seizure of limited assets from the private sector for the sake of survival during defensive wars. Okay, cool. So there's a bunch of different things here. I'm gonna have to read through these. I won't read through all of these on the screen. Thank goodness. I know you're all saying. But I'll just need to know these, and if we have to enact any of these, we will throughout our playthrough, I guess, as we're learning. And it looks like we can spend a little bit of influence. Okay, this is just what we do. So we don't have to spend influence to do this. Like we allow slavery. We allow our slaves to breed. Huh. Purge. We're allowed to cleanse the corrupt elements of our empire as we feel fit. Orbital bombardment. Limited. All but the heaviest orbital ordnance, ensuring that the majority of civilians will survive. Why can't we use this? Orbital bombardment is capped at full because we are not militaristic or fanatic militaristic. Okay, so makes sense. Migration, resettlement. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna have to read through all these. No voting rights, just none. No one votes. Only a primary species can be a leader. Only space bugs. Space bugs for space bugs. First contact, we are peaceful. We could change it to aggressive, or we would attack native enemies. Okay. And then this is some stuff we can do to spend influence to increase our physics research. Increase research, so trade influence for research here, or encourage free thought, or information quarantine, less research speed, ethics divergence, negative 10%. So our population won't become different thinking.
The demographics tab tracks the makeup and spread of our empire's populace.
Okay. These effects are applied to all pops in your empire. Individual populations may also be affected by additional modifiers at a local level. We have 8 populations across one world, which I think we'll look at this episode. Yeah, we'll go a little bit long. I'm okay with that. We can create a vassal. If you own more than one planet, vassals can be released from systems where we own planets. If there is a potential empire to release, whoa, no idea what's going on there. So things that might be modifying our population, and then the information for us. I don't know what this blue thing is at all. Oh, that's a pie chart. It's all us. All Ixidar. Okay. What else do we have here? Our contacts key and a ship designer. So let's look at Let's look at our contacts.
In the contact screen, we see a detailed list of all the various empires we have encountered. Their opinions of us are visible at a glance, and we can quickly and easily engage in diplomacy.
The Species tab shows a list of all alien species we've encountered as well as their associated traits. Okay, cool. So, us, go to our capital real quick, how big our population is, how many planets, just a quick view, and what our race looks like. Cool. And let's see species.
The Species tab lists all types of nominally intelligent beings we have encountered, allowing us to modify or uplift them if we have the means and opportunity.
We currently have 0 gene points, but we can modify. We are missing the gene tailoring technology required to modify species. So we can modify the traits. We can make our species better through modification. Awesome. Last up here is a ship designer.
All the ships in use within our empire are designed here. New hull sizes and components will be unlocked as we research new technologies.
So these are our ships. Okay, so your equipment on the right, some kind of modules, power generation. Okay, so instead of a weight or size limit, like in something like a Master of Orion or Sins of the Solar Empire. I'm trying to think of other games that I play. We have a power limit, and then each piece of equipment uses a certain amount of power. So we could add modules to these and change their name if we wanted to make a new design. Okay. Okay, add component. So up here, if I click on this, it can only carry so many weapons, apparently. Alright. There's our maintenance cost and our cost to produce. That makes sense. Well, let's take a look at Ixathrak real quick.
This is our homeworld and the capital of our empire. The planet summary screen, which we are currently looking at, provides an overview of the planet's important statistics.
Among other things, we can see the total number of tiles this planet has, how many populations are living on it, and how much food it produces. If the planet has a governor, they can also be found here. Okay. So, Governor Fossilin, he's a planetary governor. He makes us happier, less construction, clear blockers. We could change him, though. We could put edicts.
These are planet-specific edicts. Practices that can be temporarily enforced by spending some of our influence.
So for 150 influence, we could increase this planet's abilities for 10 years. Okay, makes sense. We could terraform if we had the ability. This shows what resources we're getting from this planet. Okay, that makes sense. We produce 10 food and consume 6.3 on this planet, so we're not starving. That makes sense. It's a size 16 planet. And then here is our resource output. So 9 minerals. That makes sense, you can see there. So let's take a look at our surface.
Here we see a visual representation of this planet's surface, divided into tiles. This tab is only visible on colonies and surveyed worlds that are habitable. Each pop occupies a single tile, which means that there can never be more pops on a planet than there are free tiles.
In addition to a pop, a tile can also support a building. To get the most out of a planet, we will need to carefully manage our pops, buildings, and tiles. Okay, so you can either have... Alright, so this has a population and 1 building. So for here we have a mining network and 1 Ixadar population. Shows their happiness level. They're a member of the Loyalist faction. Oh, there's factions we have to worry about too. Ooh. Is everybody a Loyalist on the planet? Oh, this population. So grayed out when it's still growing. It will not produce any output before it's fully grown. Growth 1 through 40. And we can move it. So he'll get more food when we are now in this section. Okay, so we'd want to build maybe a farm here or something. We have a power plant. We could build other things. So, right now, if I click here, I could build... This is arid terrain. Construct a building.
Some buildings may cause adjacency effects to other buildings in neighboring tiles. Let us take this into consideration when constructing new facilities.
I'll have to look that up, the adjacency effects. Don't show me that again. So hydroponics farm, 51 and 200 days or months? I'm hoping days. So 51 to build that, 51 for a mineral silo. Increases our storage capacity, which we're not even close to capacity. Mineral network, increase our thing. Energy gives us energy, and a science lab gives us more research. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. This is a food place. Adjacent planetary administration, +1. Okay. So the planetary administration has the adjacency effects that he was talking about. Okay, that makes sense there. None of these have any adjacency effects. That pops right up. Yeah. Okay, let's not build anything yet. So that's our planet. Let's look at armies.
This is where we manage all ground forces on this planet. The upper portion of this view is divided into 3 sections. The top section represents the orbital space above the planet. The middle section is the atmosphere, and the bottom section is the surface.
All right, so we have our guys on the ground. We can embark our armies. If we had some on the ships in orbit, there's the 1st Bastion Brigade Defense Army. We can recruit more armies to defend our planets. New armies are also raised here by clicking Recruit in the bottom right. Defense armies should be trained to defend our planets from possible invasions. And wartime assault armies must be sent to occupy enemy planets. We wish to claim those worlds as war demands during peace negotiations. Okay. Makes sense. And last up, this spaceport.
The spaceport tab is where we view orbiting fleets, build new ships, and upgrade the station itself. If a planet has no spaceport, we can order the construction of one if we have the necessary resources.
Okay, click an empty module slot to view a list of available modules to install. Click the build button at the bottom of the build queue and list of all ship designs and spaceport upgrades. Alright, so this has a laser defense. We could build a module if we had one available, but we don't. This construction ship is currently docked here, as well as the 1st Abyssal Flotilla, which is that right there. And then this is the spaceport hovering above our planet. Cool. So that is a breakdown of our empire. It is going to be the next episode where we finish out doing our surveying and we go ahead and probably build some infrastructure. We'll be doing that in the next episode of Gaming with Grug. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as always, we hope to see you soon.